Hello, my name's Michael Conneely, and this is part 8 of our March 2021 Star Wheel Astrology and Newsletter, and it's all about the very violent Mars-Rahu conjunction in Taurus in this month of March, and indeed how to deal with it, and what will its effects be on the political and world stage as well. And what wonderful way of manifesting it actually sort of popped up locally in our little community here. So the aggressive Mars-Rahu, Mars North Node conjunction is transiting in the heavens now through the Vedic sign of Taurus in Rohini Nakshatra. Mars transits from 4 to 21 degrees Taurus in March. And it will become exact on the 28th of March 2021 with Rahu. Now, see my separate post about the very special position of Joe Biden under this Mars-Rahu conjunction, because he has his natal Uranus, Saturn and Munter in Taurus. But that's a separate topic. So given the way in which this transiting Mars-Rahu conjunction relates to Joe Biden's birth chart, this prevailing energy of violence will force him to adopt a place of healing and recuperation, whether or not that's fully apparent. He'll have to sit back from the forefront, handling the duties of president to Kamala Harris, of course. But there's also the call for each of us to properly handle this Mars-Rahu transit in Vedic Taurus. Mars in Taurus is the earth warrior. Now, it can be the charming earth warrior who's a bit of a risk in relationships. But what you've got to remember is that this month, Mars' energy is completely coloured and, if you like, distorted and even warped by his growing conjunction to Rahu, which occurs exact on the 28th of March at 20 Taurus. Mars is in Kritika Nakshatra, ruled by the Sun, until he enters Rohini on the 11th of March, remaining in Rohini till the end of the month. So this distortion in the way Mars will manifest vastly in the human realm brings us to the key point that each of us humans has to be able to see beyond the way a planet manifests in our individual chart, in our life, our consciousness, our behaviour. And we have to see beyond the way a planet manifests at the world scale. We have to be able to see the divine nature of each planet. So, as a face of the divine, Mars is a planet of power, strength and courage, which measures our ability to project force into life. So a strong Mars will provide us with needed and proper energy, independence, will, self-confidence, ability to carry out our endeavours. And if we don't have a strong Mars, then that can make our lives such a mess. We can't carry out anything to its full accomplishment. Mars also indicates the arms and muscles, giving us physical prowess, a better physical fitness. It gives sexual vitality to the male. A weak Mars can cause impotence or lack of manly characteristics and make any accomplishment difficult. And on the higher level, the divine Mars can direct us to yogas of knowledge and energy, self-discipline and asceticism. So a strong and spiritual Mars is so good for the practice of rituals and for directing occult and spiritual energies. Mars, in what could be called myth, of ancient sacred knowledge, is the son of earth. He's called Kuja, the one born from the earth. He is the secret flame hidden in matter. His energy demands manifestation in the material form. But of course, Mars can also bring out the negative or dark sides of the earth energy, the titanic primordial powers, the Asuras, the demons, entities who wish to destroy creation and bring things back to the raw state of chaos. And of course, planet Mars is goal-orientated action. And we need that. We need to be able to manifest it properly in a harmonious but forceful way. Okay, Mars joins Rahu. Now Rahu expands. Rahu expands vastly, but with a force that is mostly negative. So Rahu always has to be purified. Rahu is illusion, hallucination, trance, psychosis, paranoia, and other negative mental states. The nodes of the moon are essentially karmic, so when a planet conjoins the nodal axis, as Mars does now, karmic events and changes happen. These will happen. So, I want to end this post by telling you about a completely unexpected event which so cheered me as to the manifestation of Mars in Taurus. A member of our small community here in the west of Ireland suggested completely out of the blue that we do Jason Quit's Egyptian postures of power every morning on the beautiful land beneath the rising sun and with the sound of the river at the bottom of the garden and in the sight of the trees and the hills. And these exercises turned out to be so very good for needed embodiment. But they also have a visionary and energies dimension. And they're also so calming and strengthening and connective at this time of very difficult energies. Obviously, it depends on each one of us individually how we experience energies, but so many people are finding, the energies of this week very difficult. So this young man didn't know that Mars had just entered Taurus, but his suggestion completely embodied the spiritual nature of Mars transiting in Taurus. He's quite a writer as well as a kickboxing teacher, and so he wonderfully prefaces each of the energies with a description of the exercise and also a statement of its visionary dimensions and its energetic and consciousness dimensions, and all is embodied, and embodiment is so needed, I always feel. So how wonderful to have this at this difficult time. So I hope that you can find your proper and wonderful connection to the very difficult energies of Mars transiting closer and closer to Rahu at this time in this month of March. How wonderful if each of us can. That is the highest meaning of these difficult times. For each of us to unexpectedly even find our spiritual path. So wishing you a very good March. Please see all the other sections of our March newsletter, and you can book an astrology reading with me at my Star Wheel Astrology website. And my wife Maggie Pashley does many, many, many wonderful healings online at her website www.maggiepashley.com. The links are at the end of the blog post and in the YouTube description under the YouTube video screen. Thank you.